It's Wednesday, the 11th of December. Kia ora, hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Thank you very much for joining us as we take a look at the forecast for the rest of this week, the upcoming weekend, and the very start of next week. We're getting closer to Christmas. Our first Christmas Day forecast is going to be issued tomorrow, Thursday. Just bear in mind this far out, and with such a messy weather pattern, it's not likely to be 100% locked in. In fact, over the last 3 days, I've been taking a look at the Christmas Day weather forecast and the modelling, and it's changed every single day. One thing that's been consistent, high pressure is in the area. Whether or not it's over the top of us or nearby, that's what we're still trying to lock in, and that does make quite a difference. So let's have a look and see what is happening at the moment. This is for 1 p.m. Usually we show you the situation at the end of the day. This is for the middle of the day to capture the UV rays. So what you see here in the purple shading, that is extreme UV rays, which means stay out of the sun during the middle of the day as much as you can, wear sunscreen, sunglasses, all of that kind of stuff. Now where you see the green, that is low UV rays. Why are you seeing that? Thick cloud cover or rain in some areas, rain out at sea here thanks to a developing low. But all of this other pink shaded area, that, or purple shaded I should say, area, that is considered extreme as far as UV rays are concerned. All right, let's have a look at some rainfall because we do have some rain relief on the way. In fact, we've got pockets of rain relief hit and miss on the way for the next week or two, which is great news. It's not going to be for everybody, but I think some areas will get some good rain leading up towards Christmas. So let's have a look. This is the 36-hour rainfall. It starts at 5 o'clock this evening and it takes us through until 5 o'clock on Friday morning. So let's have a look and see what is coming through overnight tonight. You'll start to see some of this wet weather coming down from the north. The bright shaded areas, these are heavier downpours as they track through across, and by the end of tomorrow you notice how patchy those bigger downpours are. It is fairly hit and miss. Then we clear through tomorrow night into Friday morning and most of that wet weather leaves the North Island. So if you're seeing a rain icon, just bear in mind it is a little bit lumpy as far as the heavier rain is concerned, but it's good to see some rain coming through into these very dry areas. And there's a little burst of wet weather in the lower South Island as well, and still maybe a couple of isolated showers around Auckland and Waikato as we start Friday morning. So let me make sense of that again for you. Here we are, 1 p.m. tomorrow, Thursday. Here is that low that's out in the Tasman, the one that's reducing the UV rays, and you can see why, because of all the rain and cloud that's around the North Island going into tomorrow. So today's the day with the extreme levels. Tomorrow they should taper off a wee bit. But you can see these heavier areas of rain in the green shading coming down around Auckland and Waikato, Coromandel Peninsula, Bay of Plenty as we go into the middle of the day, early afternoon. And then it carries on, tracking across that northeastern corner of the North Island. So it's a little bit of a hit and miss game to work out how much of that wet weather makes it over the ranges, gets over into Hawke's Bay and brings you a little bit of relief. And at the other end of the country, drier weather around Southland will be welcome, I'm sure. Unfortunately, those westerlies are still blowing through for a bit of a time. We've got another storm, quite a big one, 960 hectopascals down there in the Southern Ocean. Look at Friday. This is a ginormous low pressure zone. There have been so many of these lows this year that I've said are larger than the entire continent of Australia that it's kind of lost all meaning now. They just keep coming around the Southern Ocean down here. So that brings in another surge of windy nor'westers. Not too problematic, not hopefully at that level where it's causing damage, but you do see another burst of windier weather returning to the country on Friday. That means eastern areas with that low clearing away, the sun comes back out. Sorry, Hawke's Bay, but you're going back up towards 27, 28, 30 degrees going towards the weekend. Only saying sorry for those of you that have been kind of tired of it and want a colder, wetter change to come through. So let's go into the weekend now. We've got this low pressure zone up around Rarotonga. That is deepening a wee bit, but because of this big high pressure zone south of it, it doesn't have a lot of a chance to sort of grow and get bigger and stormier. It's worth keeping an eye on, but for now, not a problem for New Zealand. But because of the storm south of us and the high out to our east, we've got the windy nor'westers blowing through as we go through Saturday. So that's the reason why eastern areas are going to feel the heat. There will be rain though over on the west coast yet again, and once more heavy falls from about the halfway mark southwards. Now, as we go into Sunday, the rain on the west coast moves a little further up, but it falls apart. It's not very much. And at the other end of the country, in the northern end, you've got another line of wet weather out at sea. So a southerly kind of coming northwards, a northerly dropping southwards. What does that mean? Well, it means keep an eye on the start of next week, because there's a bit of instability between the two systems where the northerlies subtropical are coming down, then you've got these colder subantarctic southerlies coming up. That can sometimes produce areas of low pressure, which you see here on the map. They're kind of stretched out, elongated areas. What you're seeing here through the North Island, these are afternoon downpours by the looks of it. So those kind of, it might be a little bit drizzly in the morning here and there, and in the afternoon up come those bigger downpours, might be thunder. And then you've got a southerly coming through here. It might come in as a northeasterly, but it's actually a southerly flow coming around this high south of New Zealand. So you've got sort of two things moving through. We don't have the Tuesday map yet because I'm not convinced that it's accurate, but we'll show you that tomorrow. It does show a low around the North Island. Yesterday it didn't show that. It showed it kind of north of New Zealand. So it's not locked in yet. I don't like showing you a map, especially if you really need rain. That gives you false hope. So for now, we're just leaving Tuesday off, but we will have another look at that tomorrow when we do our weather forecast and take a closer look at rainfall around New Zealand. That is all from me. Catch you again tomorrow, Thursday. Don't forget, we'll have our first Christmas Day weather forecast as well. Don't take it too seriously, but it's worth seeing what I get to see in these longer range 15-day models that we've got. So we might as well share them with you, and we can track the progress of them as we go through next week. That's all from me. See you again tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day.